Tonight's project is to get those R4 tires back on the back of the tractor. I want to put the weight on the back, put the front bucket on the front. I've got some loader work to do, and I need that extra weight because I need to pull some trees out of the woods. So we'll get started. The rear wheel of the 2210 takes a 5/8. I'm going to use the impact gun to take them off. I only raised this up just enough to get the wheel off because it's hard to get the second wheel back on. And these are loaded with fluid, both this and the R4, so they're really heavy. I don't know what these weigh, but they're heavy. Too heavy to lift. So you have to just lower the tractor to the level of the wheel. You gotta line the bolt holes up by spinning the tire before it's on. Pretty good. Doesn't always go that quickly, only when you're filming. I mentioned this rigid impact gun in a previous video. I'll put a link up above, but can't say enough about it. It's so much better than doing this by hand or even with an air socket. You can hear the water, or the fluid. It's washer fluid, windshield washer fluid. This wheel is actually a little harder because the deck is in the way. It's too dark. It's really just the fine adjusting to get the studs lined up is the hardest part. Part of the reason I'm able to do this is because the time cutter dedicated to mowing has allowed me to now to focus on work with John Deere. I don't have to save it for mowing. And the front bucket and the weight make it more difficult to mow with this. It's heavier, it's longer, more difficult to maneuver. you take the top link off, you gotta watch, because this thing will whack you in the knee. And I got this all tightened up. I run the shackles on the right side as tight as I can get them, and on the left side pretty loose, so that the bar stays to the left and lifts this L bracket to lift the deck up. Now I'll back up to the weight, to the ballast box, and I'll connect that to the back. Okay, now that the ballast is on, I'll pull out, turn around, and pull in to connect the loader. So one of the key things when you're taking the loader off is to make sure you lift it high enough that when you come back into it, your wheel passes underneath it. And then I stop right where the arm of the loader will go onto this piece of the tractor. And I connect the hydraulics, making sure that they're somewhere that they won't get pinched. And I put new covers on all these. Mine were all worn, couldn't tell the colors anymore. These were inexpensive replacements. They're not John Deere brand, they're just aftermarket. I can probably find a link to those covers, and I do recommend always using the covers. It keeps the dust and dirt out of both ends, and it's really easy to tell what goes where when you're making the connections. If you've never done this before, these are pull-push connectors. You pull the connector piece back, the head of the connector, and then push the hydraulic in. And depending on how much pressure there is in the system, it can be hard. This one's being hard. There we go. And then I actually connect these together. The green with the green, the gray with the gray. And then make sure that you're in that little case, and as you come down you just want to make sure this doesn't move and get pinched in there. You can do that not even sitting on the tractor, just make sure you've got it neutral. twist it ahead if you need to. Check both sides. Press down, you'll see the front will start to lift. These pins go through both sides. And this is the support the loader was sitting on. It's now up against the frame of the tractor. Now you just go to lift the bucket. That's it. Usually your hands get pretty dirty. You can wear gloves or just be prepared to wash your hands after. A note about the ballast box, it is a lot of weight back there. I've got tube sand. I don't know how many tubes are in there, but several. I've got this pipe in here just so I have somewhere to put a handle, like if I want to carry a shovel. But if you're not careful when you lower this, that ballast box will drop really fast. It could actually crack the cement if you let it go, or if someone's foot were under there, it could crush it. So just a note about that. And then, like I said before, I sway this as far to the left as I can, just so it catches this L bracket to lift the mower deck as high as possible. You can see if it were swayed to the right, it doesn't lift the mower deck very well. So I sway it to the left, and then I tighten up this turnbuckle so that it pulls to the left as much as it can. And then I use the little cotter pin to keep it in place. So I need to do some tree skidding. I'll haul the chain in here with me and a D-ring. But one of the new designs of the ballast box that I really like has a receiver hitch in the bottom of it, so you could put your receiver ball in there as a tow point. As you can see with the ballast box on, there's not a great tow point. I usually put my chain up around here, but I'd prefer the chain be lower. So that's basically it. We put the R4 tires on, got the ballast box on, put the loader on. Wasn't difficult, didn't take too long. If you like videos like this, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you next time.